Although many longtime K-pop fans were excited to see second-generation legends return, the performances at the SBS Gayo Daejeon left many disappointed. Overall, the award show had an impressive lineup consisting of names like aespa, KOOKIELIT, ITZY, G-Idol, NewJeans, TXT, and many more. However, while these artists received an incredible amount of attention, it was nothing compared to the anticipation for acts like 21 and G-Dragon. When it comes to 21, they returned to the SBS Gayo Daejeon stage after 10 years, marking their first year-end performance in 9 years since the 2015 Mnet Mama. Despite their absence from the scene all these years, they still made an unforgettable return, opening with CL's fierce shout that set the tone for their performance. They delivered iconic tracks like Come Back Home, Fire, I Don't Care, Ugly, and I Am the Best, effortlessly owning the stage. Choosing to perform with live vocals backed by AR sounds, they turned the event into their own show, with each member showing that they were still the amazing performers everyone knew them to be. On the other hand, G-Dragon's performance initially excited netizens, but it didn't meet expectations. As the closing act, all eyes were on him, but many felt his vocals were unstable. His voice got lost in the AR sound, making it difficult to hear his live singing. Some fans also pointed out that he slurred his lyrics a few times, didn't sing most of the words in the song, and criticized his throat-scratching singing style, finding it uncomfortable. Comments on online forums said, "You call yourself a singer without singing, and he really can say he sang? He was just scratching his neck and yapping." However, a few people argued that the issue wasn't G-Dragon's performance, but rather problems with SBS. A commenter mentioned that G-Dragon had pulled out his in-ear monitor and said, "There's no sound coming out." He also seemed to have struggled with a mic that was too quiet, forcing him to shout into it, highlighting technical issues that affected his performance. What do you think of his performance? Let us know in the comments down below. Moving on to other news, 2PM's Junho was reported to have been investigated for tax evasion. Earlier this week, it was reported that the Seoul Regional Tax Office carried out a special audit on Junho in September 2023, resulting in a large tax payment. It was also noted that Junho owns several properties. In response, on December 26th, JYP Entertainment shared that Junho was part of a tax investigation, which took place in September 2023. The investigation was carried out by the Seoul Regional Tax Office as part of a regular audit for artists. The agency stressed that there were no allegations of tax evasion in the case. They also clarified that, based on advice from his tax advisor, Junho filed his taxes correctly and paid extra due to differing views between his advisor and the tax authorities. They clarified that any tax discrepancies were due to differing opinions, not intentional omissions, and have been resolved. The agency also highlighted Junho's consistent commitment to paying his taxes, noting that he has always fulfilled his tax duties without any issues since his debut. Due to the issue being reported as a big deal, many netizens were surprised to find out that it really wasn't. As a commenter best said it, "Okay, so he was audited over a year ago, nothing was found, no problems. This probably happens to a random selection of rich people every year, so it's an entirely normal procedure. Not sure why this is news." Many netizens were frustrated when media outlets continued to report the issue as if it were urgent, despite JYP clearly stating that it had already been resolved. Thankfully, it seems like this is the end of the situation. Even though the rumors about ENHYPEN's Jungwon and aespa's Winter being a couple turned out not to be true, he's still suffering the quote-unquote consequences of it. As you may know, at the beginning of December, a netizen claimed that they had seen the two on a date at a bar. Both companies and Jungwon denied the rumors, but some fans continued to harass Winter, and a section of ENHYPEN's fandom kept pressuring B-Lift Lab to remove Jungwon from the group. They have tried sending protest trucks in front of the company, asking for his immediate removal, but Jungwon walked right past them, showing these fans that he's unbothered with the whole thing. Fans have also created email templates demanding several actions: removing Jungwon from the group or putting him on an indefinite hiatus, confirming and apologizing for the relationship, and addressing the fan provocation. They also want the company to publicly clarify the situation and apologize for generating negative attention on Chinese social media, which affected other group members. Unfortunately, it's not new for fans to react in these ways when dating rumors surface, but Jungwon's fans took it a notch further. Just recently, funeral wreaths showed up in front of HYBE's building, which was allegedly sent by Chinese fans. Messages in the wreath said things like, "Is lying part of being in the entertainment industry now?" and "ENHYPEN is 6. Though netizens have been critical of Jungwon, especially following the dating rumors and smoking allegations, they also strongly disapprove of the trend of sending funeral wreaths as a protest against living people. Since since the wreaths cost money, a lot of people can't wrap their heads around the fact that there are some fans who would spend their paychecks on things like this. Many also pointed out that the company should have taken action against the funeral wreaths, especially since they've become a concerning trend in South Korea and could be seen as a form of threat to the idol's life. As a commenter put it should be relatively easy for the company to ask the delivery service for info about the sender and sue them. It was also discovered that sending wreaths as a protest is illegal, so it's strange that this is not a concern for the company. WINNER Mino has officially been booked by the police on suspicions of violating the Military Service Act. The situation regarding Mino began on December 17th when Dispatch published a report alleging that he had manipulated the attendance records of military social service workers. Dispatch alleged that Mino frequently missed work after being transferred to the Mapo Residential Convenience Facility in March 2024, where he worked under his supervisor, Mr. L. Despite being assigned there, Mino was reportedly absent much of the time. Dispatch stated they visited the facility over 10 times between November and early December, but never saw him. The claims raised eyebrows further when the media outlet said that Mino took a 6-day trip to Hawaii in late October 2024 and then failed to resume work afterward. When asked about the allegations, YG Entertainment stated that Mino was fulfilling his duties and had received approval for the trip, but they refused to share specific details, citing personal privacy. Dispatch also had several conversations with Mr. L to clarify the situation. On December 3rd, Mr. L claimed Mino was using vacation days but had attended work regularly before. The very next day, he mentioned Mino had called in sick and would take 3 days off. By December 9th, Mr. L said Mino was hospitalized due to anxiety and other health concerns, but could not confirm the hospitalization details. Further allegations suggest irregular practices, with reports that Mino occasionally signed in briefly, smoked a cigarette, and left. Attendance records were unavailable as Mr. L cited privacy concerns, but some facility staff even stated they had never seen him. Dispatch suspects a possible agreement between Mino and Mr. L, as their observations found Mino consistently absent, while Mr. L frequently attributed his absence to vacations, sick days, or health issues, which raised concerns about accountability. After the report came out, YG immediately issued a response stating that it was difficult for them to confirm the details of Mino's service, but claimed that his medical leave was just an extension of the treatment he was receiving prior to his enlistment. As for his other leaves, the company said that they were in accordance with the regulations. The Mapo Resident Welfare Facility also said that everything had been in accordance with the regulations. Yet none of the statements did anything to calm netizens down, who were swarming online forums with criticism against Mino. Comments under posts said, "He's living his life by eating up on the effort of others, and send him in active duty and make him serve again." Some people doubted Dispatch's reliability, speculating that the outlet might be spreading false information about Mino to damage his reputation, possibly under outside influence or financial incentives. Mino was discharged under intense scrutiny on December 23rd, especially after it was reported that he took a sick leave day on his last day of service. Whether the report was seen as credible or not didn't matter, because the situation snowballed in a matter of days. After Dispatch's report, there were rumors that he was dating actress Park Joo-yoon, which were taken with a grain of salt. However, the testimonies from witnesses of Mino's time in the military made netizens, both Korean and international, turn on him. Witnesses claimed that Mino rarely arrived on time, and even with a revised schedule, he often showed up late, stayed briefly, and spent most of that time playing games before leaving. Allegedly, he also ate at home because he was a celebrity, and at lunchtime, he would apparently show up around 5:50 p.m. and would leave at 6 p.m. Furthermore, it was claimed that he would come to work only 2 times a week or 2 to 3 workdays a month, and that he didn't wear his public service worker uniform. Following the allegations, a report was filed with the Seoul Mapo police station, calling for an investigation into Mino, and the Seoul mayor even ordered a comprehensive review of social service agents sparked by the controversy. Then, on December 26th, it was officially announced by the Seoul Mapo police that Mino had been booked on December 23rd on suspicion of violating the Military Service Act. They stated that after their internal review, they concluded that some issues needed further clarification through law enforcement. It was also said that if the claims of misconduct are proven, he could have his discharge canceled and may need to serve extra time for the missed period. While many netizens agreed with the decision, some expressed sympathy for Mino, believing he's struggling and hoping the person who filed the complaint gets penalized for wasting police resources. As of December 26th, neither YG nor Mino have commented on the situation.